Today I'm going to be making something really yummy, and these are my double chocolate white chocolate chip cookies. And here are the ingredients that we need. 3/4 of a cup of cocoa powder, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 eggs, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of white chocolate chips, this is 225 grams, 1 cup of unsalted butter, 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. A recipe note, if you are using salted butter, simply remove the salt from my recipe. So those are the ingredients, so let's get started. For our first step, I'm going to get all of our nice butter into a large bowl. Okay, that's good. To that, my white granulated sugar and our brown sugar. So I'm just going to break that up a little bit with a fork. And whenever you're measuring out your brown sugar, you want to pack it tightly into your measuring cup. So as you're pushing it into your cup, push it down so that it gets really nice and compact like you see here. Okay, that's good. And I'm going to grab my mixer and we're going to start creaming this together. Once you see that the whole mixture is starting to come together, we can add a little bit of moisture. I'll add in my first egg, and that will really help with the creaming process. As soon as that extra moisture gets into the actual sugars, everything starts to really come together, as you see here. Then we'll add in our second egg. And then I'll add in my vanilla. And I'm using pure vanilla extract in this recipe. If you can find pure, always use pure. It's really much nicer than the artificial stuff. I'll add in my salt. And then we'll sift in our dry ingredients. So we'll get our lovely cocoa powder in there. And all of our flour. And our baking soda. Grab the back of a spoon and I'll just push this through. If you're only using flour, you can take your hand and go like this. But if you are using cocoa powder, it's good to use the back of a spoon because otherwise you're going to get your hands dirty. We'll grab our mixer. Speed number 1. And I'm just going to slowly start incorporating all of the dry ingredients into our wet. So we're about halfway there. Another minute or so and we should be done. Okay, so this is about a minute later and it's all nicely mixed. So for our last thing, we're going to take our chocolate chips and I'm just going to get those in there. And what I did was I opened up the package and I took a few out. And we're going to keep these out to put on top of our actual cookies just before they go into the oven. And now we'll just mix these in quickly. Okay, that's perfect. So we're all set to go. I have my cookie sheet here and a piece of parchment paper. This is optional. You can go directly onto your cookie sheet if you wish, but I'm going to use parchment today. I've got myself a medium-sized scoop, and you can do this by eye, just with a spoon, but I'm just going to go and use my scoop today. So I'll do, I guess, a row of 3. Oh, and this dough smells really good. So I'll whip through these and I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, once that is done, now we have the little chips that I had left over, and you can just take these and just put them on the top. Do 3 or 4, doesn't really matter. You could put a lot more. You could also take a fork and push all of these down if you wanted to. I'm not going to. I'm just going to get them in like that. So I'll just keep going at this. I'll be back in a second. Okay. And by putting these on the top, it really illustrates what kind of cookie it is. It's nice to have a cookie that looks good. If you ever go into the little cookie shops, you'll notice that if you look really carefully at a cookie, you'll see that some of these have been placed on the top just before they go in. That's just to promote the cookie. They want to make the cookie look as appetizing as possible because they are in the business of selling cookies. So there we go. So I'm going to pop this into my 350 degree oven for about 10 minutes. So what I think I'm going to do, there's a lot of dough here. I am going to bake off all of these and then I'm going to come back when they're completely done. So my first batch is done and it's cooling now. I did those for 10 minutes. The second batch, I'm going to show you something slightly different. I'm just going to take my fork and I'm just going to press a little bit onto each one just to give each cookie a little bit more surface area for the oven heat to warm up. So that looks good. Oh, one left. And then I'm going to put on the chocolate chips and pop these into the oven for the same amount of time, 10 minutes. So I'll do that and then I'm going to actually really come back when all of them are done. Alright, so I'm back. I have cleaned up and I have all my beautifully baked cookies. And I have a total of 44 cookies out of this batch. I just wanted to show you an overall view first. So these are the first ones that we did. These are the ones that I did not press with the fork. I just scooped them out and we put the chocolate on top. Then this row here and this row are the ones that we pushed down with the fork. And then what I did was, for a third option, I used the back of a spoon and pushed down all of these cookies here, except these two. So we have all of these were pushed down with the back of the spoon, and these two are some of the originals as well. And now that you've seen all of them, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit on some of these just to show you a little closer up. So I've just zoomed in just to show you the three different types. So these are the original ones. These are the ones that I scooped out and I did not push down at all. Then we have the ones that I scooped out and I used our fork. Okay, those are there. And then these ones here are the ones that I used with the back of the spoon and also pushed those down. So there we have the three different types. So you have three slightly different looks. I actually like this look here and this look here. This here with the fork is typically what you're going to see on a peanut butter cookie. So I don't really like it that much on the chocolate, but you can do either way. All three of them are nice. And all of these were baked for the same time, 10 minutes in my 350 degree oven. And the last thing, let's break into one of these and I'll just show you how nice these are. Look at this. These are completely cooled, by the way, and look. Really, really nice and moist. Nice and chewy. If you want them a little bit more firm, you want to go about 12 minutes. But look at that. Really, really good. I love these. So that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you wish. I really do appreciate that. So that's it for today, and I'll see you next time.